Hey guys. Well, the latest accusation is that I'm NK. That one's been said quite a few times already. People say, just listen to her voice, it sounds just like her. I don't think so. But I don't know, because I hear my voice from, inside of my head. So, well, I hear it on the videos too, though. I don't think I sound anything like NK. Just the other day, they were saying that I was Cindy Watts. Well, we've heard her voice in her interviews, right? And at the sentencing. No, I don't think my voice sounds anything like Cindy Watts' voice. And they say that I'm Jamie Watts. No, I don't think so. Well, one person the other day said that I'm really critical K. In fact, they were boasting that it only took them 30 seconds to realize it. Right. How weird are they? Like, how scary, psycho weird are they? You know what I'm saying? They say, get a life, get a hobby, move on, stop talking about the case. Well, they spend 20 hours a day harassing people online. Talk about irony. Or should I say double standard? Or should I say hypocrisy? Stop talking about the case while they keep right on talking about the case. It makes no sense. But actually, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it, to those of us who have been watching the attacks for the last 12 months? They don't want us discussing what we see in those videos. They don't want us discussing what we see in those discovery docs. They don't want us questioning why it is, if a child is severely anaphylactic or deathly anaphylactic to a nut, that there's confusion in the family over what nut the child is severely or deathly anaphylactic to. Which is why I'm making this video. I want to tell you what happened with the whole nut meltdown. I know I've made other videos about the nut meltdown in the past, but I'm just going to make another one. Here you go. For some reason, Christopher Watt's wife needed to go to North Carolina for 6 weeks over the summer. And for some reason, Christopher Watt's wife needed to stay at his parents' house for a day or two. And for some reason, she had convinced herself somehow that her children had severe allergies. In fact, that evidently one or both, I'm not sure, but at least one of her children was deathly or severely anaphylactic to certain nuts. Though, like I mentioned earlier, there's some confusion about exactly what those supposed allergies were too. Christopher Watt's mom took his wife to the grocery store and spent $325 on groceries so that Christopher Watt's wife would be able to choose exactly what foods would be available for her and the children. $325, which, yeah, stuff's expensive, but come on, $325? That's a mother-in-law who cares. That's a mother-in-law who's saying, okay, honey, whatever you say, honey, let's make sure that we have the foods that you want to have in the house when you come to stay with us. There was ice cream in the freezer that was purchased by Christopher Watt's mom at the direction of Christopher Watt's wife. it was evidently deemed safe by Christopher Watt's wife. I'm sorry. It's so silly. So silly. Ugh. So, one of the other children wanted some ice cream, and the child was told, be very careful. Don't take your ice cream anywhere near the girls, and be sure to wash your hands after you enjoy your ice cream. Be sure to wash your hands before you play with the girls. That is over the top care and concern for the safety of those little girls. Whether or not anybody believed their mother was beside the point. That was a mother-in-law who was respecting her son's wife's wishes, right? Those little girls were never placed in danger by their grandma, who they called Mimi, by the way. And I think it's important to remember that when Christopher Watts and his wife wanted to go on a vacation, that Christopher Watts' wife wanted the children to be taken care of by Christopher Watts' parents. You want to know why? Because she trusted them. She knew that the children would be safe with them. And all of a sudden, in her mind, supposedly, her in-laws didn't care if the children lived or died. All of a sudden, in her mind, supposedly, there were razor blades laying all over the house. All of a sudden, in her mind, supposedly, somehow the children were about to come in contact with ice cream that may have been manufactured in a plant that also manufactured tree nuts or peanuts, or wait, there were nuts sprinkled on top of somebody else's ice cream? No. It was a bowl of nuts. That's it. It was a bowl of nuts that Christopher Watts' sister had set on the counter. Except Christopher Watts' sister wasn't there. She was working. She was working because she had a job. And I think this is probably what really happened. I think that Christopher Watts' wife expected to be the center of attention. And I think Christopher Watts' wife was absolutely jealous of his sister from the day she met her. Have you seen a photo of Christopher Watts' sister? She is beautiful. She has a natural beauty to her. Now think about that wedding. Oh, the sister didn't mail out invitations. Oh, the sister and the mother tried to cross-contaminate the food. Oh, the sister had to be fired from the bridal party because she wouldn't take the entire week off of work. How many years had it been since Christopher Watts' wife was in North Carolina? Was it 3 years, 3.5 years, even longer? So her father drives her and the girls over to Christopher Watts' parents' house. Christopher Watts' mom takes her grocery shopping, and all is well, right? Because evidently the focus was on her. And then all of a sudden, she realized that her sister-in-law would be stopping by just for a few minutes to drop off her children at Mimi's house, at Mimi and Papa's house, because she had to work that day. Think about it. If you had fired your husband's sister from the bridal party, if you had accused your husband's sister of cross-contaminating the food, if you had accused your brother's, I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here. If you had accused your husband's sister of messing up the invitations and trying to cross-contaminate the food, and if you didn't have a close relationship with your husband's sister, which how could you after treating her like that? And then all of a sudden she showed up, probably dressed well, probably with perfect hair and nails, very stylish. The Watts family is very stylish. You can tell. You can tell in all of the photos. Cindy Watts and her daughter Jamie both are very stylish and classy women. So if you're standing there after treating her the way you have treated her for how many years straight, and she shows up, she probably had a nice car, her kids were probably super happy to see their Mimi and Papa, and to see Bella and Cece too. And she dropped the kids off and she raced out the door because she actually had a rewarding career. She actually was successful. She actually had accomplished a lot in her life as a very young woman already. I guess, how does that conversation go, right? Hey, yeah, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, just fine. I wonder how many minutes after Christopher Watt's sister left for work that the nut meltdown occurred. I wonder if it was an hour, 3 hours, who knows? I wonder if it was just minutes after Christopher Watt's wife had to see his sister that she chose to take control again by playing out her allergy game so that the attention would be, once again, all on her.